धर्मस्वरूपिणे स्थापकाय धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतंगमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate, who came to establish universal religion. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Today I am speaking on the topic Sri Ramakrishna's masterly teachings. Just now we prayed Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. How to do that? In order to show that Sri Ramakrishna has come. We are really, very fortunate to have Sri Ramakrishna and Divine Mother Sri Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda, the incarnation of Lord Shiva. It's a tremendous force this time. Shiva Shakti, Vishnu, all combining, coming together to help to lift us from our morbid state of worldliness. Sri Ramakrishna came to show literally how to start spiritual life, how to proceed with, and finally how to reach the target. Everything meticulously Sri Ramakrishna has shown us. Still we are so foolish, closing our eyes, behaving like blind people. We are telling we don't know anything, etc. But if we don't wake up ourselves to this blazing call of Sri Ramakrishna, we are only to blame. Out of infinite compassion and mercy, to show how God's grace works, Sri Ramakrishna came to us. All his teachings are very nicely recorded. They are pearls of wisdom, pearls, divine treasure. Do you want to become really wealthy? Be spiritual. You really enjoy the wealth. The benefit of the spiritual wealth is supreme peace and supreme happiness. No adulteration. Paramashanti, Paramasukha. These are the twin benefits we get by following spiritual path. Like the mother holding the hand of the kid and literally making the kid to walk through. In the same fashion, Sri Ramakrishna has led us through his teachings. And lot of instructions, most practical, have been given. Sri Ramakrishna has given tremendous importance for inculcating Shraddha. The first and foremost point in spiritual path is Shraddha. If you don't have Shraddha, you're disqualified. That means you don't enjoy the taste of spirituality at all. So, the first and foremost step is Shraddha. It's the most sublime word in Sanskrit. As on today, we don't have proper translation for this word Shraddha. But the very common translation of this word Shraddha means faith. It is very insipid translation, insipid. Shraddha includes total dedication, total devotion, total surrender to the Divine Supreme. All these are inherent in the word Shraddha. So, you have to develop that. You have to develop that Shraddha. Coming to ashram is itself a part of Shraddha. Shraddha starts from there. So, Shraddha also means you have to accept various viewpoints and try to follow it up in a proper way. Using intellectual faculty is very important. Well, it's only through Sri Ramakrishna we become aware of the fact that people may have tremendous different views about the presence of God, but all are calling God only. That is an important point. The differences in views and options and opinions in matters like politics and economics are understandable. But it is surprising that such differences of opinion and approach exist in the spiritual field also, even though the seekers have one common and as their aim, that is the realization of the Divine Supreme. What would these differences be due to? One reason advanced is that different facets of the ultimate truth are presented to different seekers. God has infinite facets. The most beautiful point to observe is everything that you take is infinite. Anything and everything. Human beings, can you count them? Infinite. Take anything in the creation, most infinite. So, the famous Upanishads, Vedas declare, Swami Vivekananda also used to say this often in his talks, Ekam Sadvipra Bodhananti. Fantastic statement. This one statement should be enough for you to understand reason in a proper way and stop quarreling and hating one another. It's stupidity to hate one another. It is total ignorance to divide people among people. So, God is one, interpreted in many ways. Interpreted in 1,000 ways, infinite ways. Just like there's one lamp, master lamp. From that you can light up any number of lamps. Any number. The light in every lamp is the same as the master lamp. Light in the master lamp. Is it not? How true it is. In the same way, every individual consciousness is part and parcel of the same divine supreme consciousness. Why don't you accept it? It is logical. It is most scientific, most analytical. Still people are foolish and blind and ignorant and behave irrationally. That only shows their intellect is not developed at all. They have grown physically, mentally, in an erratic way. That is the proof. If the intellect is not developed properly, that means your development is faulty. So in order to develop your personality properly, you have to have some discipline, some regularity, some constant guidance are required. And that is provided by Sri Ramakrishna. That's what Sri Ramakrishna meant when he said, always associate with holy satsang, holy company. In the environment of the holy company, your mind is susceptible to understand and grasp the subtle ideas of spirituality. Suppose a pillar is made of gold and silver. Gold on one side and silver on the other. Viewed from one side, the pillar appears to be nothing but silver. But viewed from the other, it appears to be only gold. The second explanation given is that different people have got different capacities of grasping or understanding. Each one is able to grasp according to one's own capacity. So, there are differences in the methods of approach. Like absolute monism, qualified monism, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, etc. etc. Different systems of philosophies, interpreting the same truth to suit different people of different capacities. That's the idea. Not to confuse the people, but to lead the people from where they stand. That's the idea. Therefore, there are no inconsistencies in the scriptures, and they deserve our faith in them. Our confidence in the teachings of the scriptures. Even with a grain of or mustard of faith, we can do what is seemingly impossible. Sri Ramakrishna started this with this fundamental quality of Shraddha when he became the priest of Kali temple. On the first day of the worship of Divine Mother Kali, he invoked this value of Shraddha. Mother, please reveal to me. It is said that Mother is all pervading. That means you are dwelling in this image which I should be able to see, realize the fact that is true. God is dwelling everywhere as well as in this image. And that proved. And this Shraddha followed him to follow meditation and purity of life, regularity, and follow this tremendous, strong determination. Strong determination. Sri Ramakrishna said in the Gospel, with sincerity and earnestness, one can realize God through all religions. But these basic factors you must remember: sincerity and earnestness. So the beauty is, every word what Sri Ramakrishna has said is most important. You can't neglect anyone. That means he is suggesting to us, be sincere. You want to follow spiritual path? Be sincere. Secondly, he is suggesting, be earnest. Not simply keeping sincere over matters. No. Being sincere, you must be earnest. Being sincere and earnest, you must have Shraddha. All should go together, not one after the other. That's the way. Some people, they indulge in quarrels. One cannot attain anything unless one worships our Krishna. Or nothing can be gained without the worship of Kali. The Kali Vishnu will say like that. And one cannot be saved without accepting Christian religion. Lord Christ is the only Savior. This kind of thinking, Sri Ramakrishna never approves it. It is nothing but dogmatism or fanaticism. So, the dogmatic person says, my religion alone is true, and all others are of no importance, are not true. They are false. If you want to know religion, be like this. Be Christian. Like the Christians would say. If you want to be a true religious person, follow Krishna. Like the Vaishnavas say. If you want to really enjoy the glory of God, become the devotee of Divine Mother Kali. Like that people say. But all are pointing to the same truth. All are pointing to God only. That part they forget. Anyway, it's all right to hold on to one deity and proceed. Perfectly all right. But that doesn't mean that you should be dogmatic or fanatic. That's the point. Anyway, after realizing the truth, you will understand really that all the divine forms are true. All the divine forms are the same divine. Sri Ramakrishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, all are my own divine forms. What else you want? So that awakening will come when you realize the Divine Supreme. When you realize Mother Kali, you will understand the whole thing is Mother Kali herself. When a devotee of Krishna worships and realizes Krishna, he sees everything as Krishna. Vasudevam Sarvamiti. So like that. And some people say God has form. Some people say God is formless. So something they want to debate, Even for nothing they debate. If they got something, it's more easy for them to debate. So one can rightly speak of God only after one sees Him. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna. He who has seen God knows really and truly that God has form and that He is without form as well. Not only that, Sri Ramakrishna tells further, He has many, many other aspects that cannot be described. So these are the most tremendous words of significance coming out from the experience of Sri Ramakrishna. It's not simply mere talks. It is flowering through experience. How people, Sri Ramakrishna refers to the people who claim God is like this, God is like that. Sri Ramakrishna puts them under the category of blind people. That only shows they don't know what God really means. That's the conclusion. In order to make us understand this viewpoint, Sri Ramakrishna tells the story of blind people. Of course, we are very familiar with that story, but still it is very relevant for this topic. Once some blind men, they came together somehow near an animal. Someone among them said, "Oh, it's an elephant." And they began to question among themselves how that elephant would look like. And all these blind people, 3 or 4 people were there. So each began to go and feel the body, how the elephant would be. They are all blind, you must know that. This is an important point. One of them said, "Oh, the elephant was like a pillar. He had touched one of its legs." Another one said, "It was like a winnowing fan. He had touched only the ears of the elephant. In this way, the others, having touched its tail or belly, they gave their different versions of the elephant. Just so, a person who has seen only one aspect of God limits God to that alone. It is his conviction that God cannot be anything else, just like that blind man telling. The elephant is like a pillar. It is only one aspect. It is not the complete picture of the elephant at all. But he is a blind man, so he is his only pillar. So like the people, they can't realize all aspects of God. That's the point that we should know. People, according to their capacity, they can realize some aspects of God, and that's not the whole of it. Sri Ramakrishna tells another example. How can you say that the only truth about God is that he has form? It is undoubtedly true that God comes down to earth in a human form, as in the case of Lord Krishna. And it is true as well that God reveals himself to his devotees in various forms. These are words of Sri Ramakrishna. It is also true that God is formless. He is the indivisible existence, knowledge, bliss absolute, Satchidananda Sagara. He has been described in the Vedas both as formless and as endowed with form. He is also described there both as attributeless and as endowed with attributes. And Sri Ramakrishna, through his experience of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, he puts in this way: the reality is that which is both beyond form and formlessness. That is the reality. Satchidananda is like infinite ocean. Intense cold freezes the water into ice, which floats on the ocean in blocks of various forms. Likewise, through the cooling influence of devotee, one sees forms of God in the ocean of the Absolute. These forms are meant for the bhaktas, the lovers of God. But when the sun of knowledge rises, the ice melts. It becomes the same water it was before. Water above and water below. Everywhere nothing but water. Therefore a prayer in the Bhagavata says, O Lord, you have form and you are formless. You walk before us, O Lord, in the shape of a man. Again, you have been described in the Vedas as beyond words and thought. But you may say that for certain devotees, God assumes eternal forms. There are places in the ocean where the ice doesn't melt at all. It assumes the form of quartz. One devotee, Kedar, he said, it is said in the Bhagavad that Vyasa asked God's forgiveness for his 3 transgressions. He said, O Lord, you are formless, but I have thought of you in my meditation as endowed with form. This is one of the transgressions. Then, you are beyond speech, but I have sung your hymns. You are the all-pervading spirit, but I have made pilgrimage to sacred places. Be gracious, O Lord, and forgive these 3 transgressions of mine. Sri Ramakrishna said, God has form. Yes. God is formless too. Yes. Further, He is beyond both form and formlessness. No one can. No one can limit Him. See how nicely Sri puts forth the points. Another illustration he gives. Once a person went into a wood and saw a beautiful creature on a tree. Later he told a friend about the creature and said, Brother, on a certain tree in the wood I saw a creature colored red. The friend answered, Oh, I have also seen it, but why do you call it as red? It is green. And another fellow, third person, he said, Oh, no. Why do you call it green, red and so on? It is yellow. Then other persons began to describe the animal as having different colors as violet, blue, black and so on. So, quite a good stuff for quarreling. They began to quarrel about which is true, which color is true. They want to decide upon it. So, they went to the tree where that creature was living, and there was a person who was sitting under the tree. And these fellows, they approached him and asked him, well, there is a creature here. We are seeing you every day coming and sitting under this tree and seeing that creature. Will you please tell me what is the color of that creature? We want to settle the matter. He said, Oh, I know that creature very well. What each of you have said about the color of the creature, they are all true. Sometimes it is red, sometimes it is green, sometimes it is yellow, sometimes it is blue, sometimes it is pearl. Again, sometimes I see it has no color at all. So it changes color. It has color, at the same time it has no color. That's the conclusion. So one who constantly thinks of God can know His real nature. He alone knows that God reveals Himself in different forms and different ways that He has attributes. He has attributes and again He has no attributes. Only the person who lives under the tree knows that the chameleon can assume various colors and sometimes it remains colorless. Others, not knowing the whole truth, they quarrel among themselves and unnecessarily they disturb their mind, they disturb their peace of mind and they suffer. What to do? So like that. So Sri Ramakrishna accepts both aspects of God. People compare bhakti, love of God, to the cooling light of the moon and jnana, knowledge, to the burning rays of the sun. Sri Ramakrishna said, I have heard that there are oceans in the extreme north and extreme south, where the air is so cold that it freezes the water into huge blocks of ice here and there. Ships cannot move there. They are stopped by the ice. The doctor was there. He said, then the path of bhakti, the aspirant meets with obstacles. Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, that's true. But it does not cause the devotee any harm. After all, it is the water of the ocean of Brahman. Existence knowledge is absolute. That is frozen into ice. It will not injure you if you continue to reason, saying, for instance, that Brahman alone is real and the world illusory. This reasoning will awaken in you jnana, knowledge, which like the sun will melt the ice of divine forms back into the infinite ocean of Brahman existence. Knowledge is absolute. In the samadhi that comes at the end of reasoning and discrimination, no such thing as I exists. But it is extremely difficult to attain it. I consciousness lingers so persistently. That's why man is born again and again in this world. As long as you maintain your ego, ahankara, you have to keep coming back and forth. A question may be asked, where is the need for faith? Cannot man use his intellect and know things? No. Because of the limitations of the mental process, antakarana is filled with because of the limitations of the mental process, great people both in the East and the West, after having experienced the highest, have stressed the need for faith. And they could not have made a misstatement, for they had no purpose to do so. In all our experiences of external objects, there is a person who experiences. Then the process of experience, and then object experienced. The three factors are there. Without these triune factors, one cannot live. Every moment of one's life, they are present. These triple factors have to be annihilated for attaining the supreme experience. It's called Triputi Laya. That has to be achieved. And then consciousness alone remains. There is nothing but consciousness. Just you took yesterday, you can't remember the past nor can you foretell the future. However intellectual one may be, when something goes wrong with his brain, he has to consult a psychiatrist or go to an asylum. One dose of opium is sufficient to make him lose his consciousness. Such are the limitations of intellect and senses. Further, jealousy, anger, prejudice, depression, all these cloud man's vision. If a person is cheerful, everything is beautiful to him. Otherwise, everything is ugly to him. If a person is filled with hatred, everybody becomes an enemy to him. If his mind is filled with love, everybody becomes his friend. Thus, knowledge derived through the mind can never be dependable. This conclusion is very important. Our great masterminds have tried to show that anything that we try to perceive is only appearance of a thing and not the essence of a thing. For example, take a piece of cloth. You say it's a piece of cloth. Suppose you remove its warp and woof. You remove all the threads. It is no more the cloth that it was formerly. It is now called a heap of threads. Now, again it can be reduced to cotton, and cotton again to atoms. So, in reality, we are wearing only atoms. Yeah. Then, are the senses and intellect not useful at all? They are useful, of course, but not to a certain, but they are useful only to a certain extent. Up to a certain stage, intellect is useful. But when that stage is reached, The intellect is no longer useful. On the other hand, it is an obstacle thereafter. It should be dispensed with. Even in Vedanta, which is mainly a process of constant inquiry and analysis, the intellect has to be avoided when one reaches the point of meditation, of drawing the mind inward. Masterminds knew that mind was not the essential part of man. And so they gave a kick to the mind and intellect and boldly took a leap into the unknown. They had direct experience of the truth and enjoyed the supreme bliss which they wanted to share with others. So they said, "Come ye, O seekers, we will show you the way to eternal beatitude, where there is perennial bliss and lasting peace." So, to believe in their words of experience is not blind faith. That comes under the category of Shraddha. Faith is spirit responding to the spirit. The ultimate existence is to be experienced through constant meditation. The ultimate essence in man responds to the infinite. Faith does not spring from the mind and senses. Faith is the nature of the innermost being of man. Here, faith, I mean the Shraddha, not ordinary faith. Shraddha is a power. It's a great primal power which elevates man and lifts him to the transcendental experience. The supreme experience alone is present. Thus a person entering into the highest state of experience attains Nirvikalpa Samadhi. There is no question of coming back again and again, etc. It's over. The spiritual journey is over and he knows what he is. That means I know who I am. Who is that I? That I is the Atman. Who is that Atman? That Atman is part and parcel of the Paramatma. Finished. Then no more question of birth and death and so on. So the nature of the Supreme is existence. This can be illustrated by an example. You go to a jungle and see a tree there. Suppose a woodcutter cuts the tree. Then it is called log. Though the tree has changed its form and name, the existence has not disappeared. It exists in the name and form of the log. Now, if the log is then made into planks of wood, then log is not there, but the planks of wood are. Or each plank of wood is there. The existence aspect continues. That's the point you should remember. Existence aspect continues. Suppose these planks are converted into tables and chairs. Then the planks are not there, but still the tables and chairs are there. If after some years the tables and chairs become useless and are reduced to pieces of wood, then the tables and chairs are not there. If these pieces of wood are burnt, then the ashes remain. The wood now exists as the ashes. And if the ashes are also annihilated, according to the scientists, they still remain as what? as atoms. Thus, existence continues. The ultimate truth is existence, eternity. That's the truth. But we are not able to experience the truth with our senses and the mind, for they are limited in the scope. One sees an object at night as long as there is light. But if the light is put off, in spite of his having his eyes opened, he can't see anything. So the eyes depend on the external object for seeing, namely the light. But suppose there is too much light. The eyes cannot see. The eyes will be dazzled or even perpetually blinded by excessive light, as for instance of an arc light. Again, if a curtain hides an object, the eyes cannot perceive it. If a crystal clear glass tumbler is filled with pure water, from a distance it cannot be said whether it contains water or not. If you are affected with cold, you can't smell an object. You can't hear a very low sound, and a powerful sound may deafen your ears. When you are absorbed in some thought, you can't hear the external noises, however delicious it may be. A third or fourth cup of milk ceases to be delicious. If the milk was really delicious, it must have been delicious always. Then how is it that a fourth cup of milk is not delicious and a fifth cup causes vomiting? So, our senses are limited in the scope. We can't have uniformity of experience through the senses. We cannot remember what all this. The great intellect Adi Shankara himself has laid down Shraddha as one of the sixfold virtues in Sadhana Chatushtaya, which consists Viveka, first one, discrimination. Second, Vairagya, dispassion. Third, Shat Samadhi Sat Sampatti. Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha. Shraddha and Samadhana. Here comes the word Shraddha. And finally, Mumukshatva, intense longing for liberation. These are the four virtues which have to be cultivated by the spiritual seeker. That means the spiritual seeker must have all these four. If everything could be understood by analysis and inquiry, then why did he stipulate Shraddha? Without Shraddha, an aspirant cannot practice even Shravana, even hearing. If you don't have Shraddha, you don't care to come. I know, I got a party to attend upon. Let me go there. So, it wavers. You succumb to your wavering of mind. That means, aspirant cannot practice even Shravana, hearing, without Shraddha. If he has no Shraddha in the teacher, if he doubts that what his teacher says may be incorrect, how can he learn anything at all? Nowadays, people have got great fashion now, changing their views. My own experience, actually, one person came to me. Swamiji, will you please reinitiate me? One person reinitiate me. I'm already initiated by Bhashyamji, so will you please initiate me again? No, I can't do that. Why not? Then I didn't want to argue. Then I told, because I had just come in the beginning of the Shikarvashama. First encounter is this one. Then I had to refer Please write to the President of the Ramakrishna order. Whatever he says, suppose he says, initiate, I will initiate. Then she took a bold step. She wrote a letter to President Maharaj. And President Maharaj at that time was Bhuteshanji. Immediately she got the reply. Believe, have Shraddha. Have Shraddha in the mantra given by your Guru. As you have mentioned, your Guru was Pashanji. Why don't you cultivate Shraddha in the mantra given by him? That Shraddha will take you onward in spiritual path. There is no need for you to change the Guru or to be initiated again. And do you know, she showed that letter to me. And then, most amusing part is, that letter has come from President Maharaj. She should cherish it with great value. President Maharaj has in reply itself. That lady, whose name I don't want to mention, she threw away that letter into the trash. So you can imagine what kind of Shraddha she is having. And how can you expect such a person to improve at all in spiritual life? And how do you understand, how do you conclude that she has understood spirituality? Zero. So, what I am telling is, having Shraddha, without Shraddha, everything is empty. Please note that point. Empty. Everything goes afterwards negative value. Yeah, all minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, like that. So you have to cross the zero to come to positive. So you have to. So that's the way. So it is said, even in our daily life, Shraddha is indispensable. What to speak of spirituality? Somebody cooks food and we take that food. We do not doubt that the cook might have put some poison in the food. We go to a doctor for medicine and take the medicine that he gives without doubting that what he gives might be poison. In the spiritual realms also, the same is the case. There have been sages who have plumbed the depth of truth and given out their experiences. We repose Shraddha in the words of persons who say that they have visited the moon. Similarly, it is reasonable to repose Shraddha in the words of those who have seen the truth, because they say we have experienced the truth. So, you can also experience the truth provided you do what we have done in order to experience the truth. Experiment for yourself and then see whether you attain the same result or not. Swami Brahman used to say to the disciple, look, you follow strictly what I have told you, all the instructions. Follow this discipline for 6 months. If you don't find the result, proper result, come and slap my face. What bold statement. Swami was so confident that such person following these instructions should definitely have results. The sages give us assurance that we can also experience the highest truth by following the proper self-analysis. In our modern age, Sri Ramakrishna has given this assurance. He told Swami Vivekananda in the first meeting itself, I have seen God, you can also see God. How nicely it tells. In that statement, he invoked Shraddha in Swami Vivekananda's heart. From that day onwards, the Shraddha bloomed like anything. And he could not contain it. That is the starting point. In starting itself, he gave a boost. Saint Tulsidas says, that Shraddha is like the handmaid of a queen. If anyone wants to see the queen, Maharani, he cannot be led to the queen by the servants of the palace to the inmost chamber in which the queen is staying. Only up to the gateway to the innermost chamber, others can lead a visitor. Thereafter, one of the handmaids of the queen alone can take the visitor to the queen. All our reasoning, all our theoretical knowledge, and so on will take us only up to a certain stage. Beyond that, they cannot help us, but only Shraddha can help us in attaining the supreme experience. So, Shraddha is necessary for all aspirants. Be a Raj Yogi, be a Karma Yogi, be a Bhakti Yogi, be Yogi of any category you want. But Shraddha is very, very, very important. And Lord Krishna himself has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Jnana means supreme, Paramananda, the realization of the truth. That is jnana, the supreme wisdom. Sri Ramakrishna said to Mani Malik, you are leading householders' lives. It is necessary for you to live in the company of holy men. First of all, the company of holy men. Then it should be immediately followed by faith, Shraddha, in God. Once Sri Ramachandra was pleased with the prayer of Narad and told him to ask for a boon. Narad prayed for pure love and said further, O Ram, please grant that I may not be deluded by thy world bewitching Maya. Sri Ramachandra said, that's all right, but ask for something else. Narad replied, I don't want anything else. I pray only for pure love. So, his Shraddha prompted him to ask that. Oh, I want love and love alone, nothing else. So, I pray only for pure love. Pure love. Without prayer. Unadulterated love. Love, it gives you undisturbing happiness. Not the so-called sensual love. It gives a momentary pleasures and happiness, immediately followed by tremendous pain, grief and suffering and so on. That you all know. I don't have to explain at all. You know much more than what I know. Because you are living in the midst of sufferings and turmoils and disturbances and whatnot. So, how can a devotee, a person who wants to live a spiritual path, attain such love? Sri Ramakrishna says, first the company of holy men, that awakens Shraddha in God. After Shraddha, that means the Shraddha gives birth to Nishtha, single-minded devotion to the idol. In that stage, the devotee doesn't like to hear anything but talk about God. He performs only those acts that please God. After Nishtha comes Bhakti. Bhakti. Shraddha, then Nishtha, then Bhakti. Devotion to God. From Bhakti then springs up Bhava. From the Bhava springs up Mahabhava. That is the supreme attitude. Prema. Mahabhava is Prema. And last of all, the attainment of God Himself. You are reaching the source of the Prema. Swamiji used to often quote the story of Nachiket from the Kathopanishad. Nachiket was a very young boy. He was told by his father in a fit of anger, I am offering to Yama, god of death. And the son was a true, pure soul, and he had tremendous devotion to parents. So whatever the father said should be done. Then the father said, I am offering to Yama. He gladly went to Yama. He didn't hesitate. Oh, how can I die? So he takes a medication to stop my death. He didn't go through that process. He simply went to Yama. How did he become so fearless? To face death? He became fearless because, the Upanishad says, it was because of Shraddha. Shraddha entered into him. Shraddha is the aggregate of all positive attitudes. Shankaracharya termed it as Astikya Buddhi. Astikya Buddhi. Believing 100% in the divine presence of God is Shraddha. Indeed, when one gets this possible frame of mind, this positive attitude, he discovers the great potential of strength and enormous possibilities in him. Swami Vivekananda, referring to this value of Shraddha, said, unfortunately, Shraddha has nearly vanished. And that's why we are in our present state. What makes the difference between man and man is this Shraddha and nothing else. What makes one man great and another low is this Shraddha. These are the words of Vivekananda. So, cultivating Shraddha in oneself is the best way to overcome emotional problems that many face. Whether in school or in college or in professional life, we seem to lose this Shraddha in ourselves. One should not run away from life, rather learn to face it with courage and heroism. Kathopanishad rouses this inner potential by its well-known statement, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapevaran Nibodhata. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. So all through these stages, arising and awakening and not stopping, Shraddha is the one that leads. If Shraddha breaks, you are gone. Swami Vivekananda used to recommend reading of Upanishads. He believed that if one could read these great scriptures, one would gain all the basic values and virtues in life. During his wandering days in 1892, Swami Vivekananda spent 9 days with Sri Sundaram Iyer in Trivandrum. Ayer's 14-year-old boy, Ramaswamy Shastri, was deeply impressed by Swami Vivekananda's personality. Swami Vivekananda told that boy, "You are still a young boy. I hope and wish that you will reverentially study the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita." Swami is telling to the boy of 14 years, please note that point. He didn't say, enjoy your life. Then after 60, 70 years, you come and study Upanishads. He didn't say that. No. By the time the Shraddha is already dead and you are gone. It's an illusion. People think they can practice discipline after 70. After 70, you think nothing but death. Always you'll be constantly thinking about your body health, your physical health, mental health, and so on and so forth, and surroundings. What will happen to your money in bank? What happened to your properties? What happened to your kids? What will happen to your grandchildren? Finished. At the time of hour of death, you think of your grandson and passing away. No. So, somebody is telling, when you are young, energetic, vigorous, read Upanishads. At the right time, you must sow the seed. Not at the wrong time. So also, you must read Itihasas, Puranas, and the Agama Shastras. In olden days, pretty olden days, I myself have seen during my days how the students would go to teachers' home and stay there, Gurukulas, and study these Upanishads and Vedas. By the time the boy is ready for receiving Gayatri Upadesh, he is full of all this scriptural knowledge. The whole Amarkosha was in his tongue. Amarkosha is nothing but Sanskrit dictionary. And afterwards, if you enter studies in the book, you will understand. But the foundation was laid when he was tender boy. But those days are gone. So, along with that, happiness also is gone. Only whatever happiness you are enjoying, that trash, it's nothing. You should not call it as happiness at all. Anyway, you will not find the like of these scriptures anywhere in the world. Man alone of all living creatures has a hunger in his heart to know whence and whither, the whys and wherefores of things. There are 4 key words you must remember. 4 key words. Abhaya, fearlessness. Ahimsa, non-injury. Asanga, non-attachment. And Ananda, bliss. These words really sum up the essence of all our sacred books. Remember them, their implication will become clear to you later on. When Goswami Tulsidas Ji began to write the holy and sublime epic Ramcharitmanas, it's a famous epic. He first prayed to Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. His Shraddha prompted him to offer prayers. Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwasarupinam Yabhyam Vina Napashyanti Siddha Svantastam Ishwaram. How nicely he has offered. He firmly believed that the great epic being written by him through divine inspiration could not serve the purpose of enlightening the masses and liberating them from the agonies and sufferings of the world without the divine grace of Bhavani Shankar, there's Parvati and Shiva. Therefore, he ardently invoked the grace of Bhavani Shankar So this verse originated from the depths of his aspiring soul and is a key to the understanding of the basic divine attributes of masculine and feminine divinity, which actually manifests as Shiva, Shakti, Bhavani Shankar. Bhavani Shankaro Vande means we pray to the goddess Parvati and God Shankar. Who are they? Shraddha Vishwasa Rupino. Parvati is Shraddha. Shiva is Vishwasa. Shraddha, absolute intrinsic faith that inspires and inculcates divine virtues and values. That is Shraddha. Shraddha has got a lot of meanings. And Vishwasa, unperturbed confidence and inner belief. That is Vishwasa. Together prepare the ground for the manifestation of the divine force of Shiva Parvati. Their idols, which we worship in the temples by offerings of flowers, ablution, kumkum, etc., are only symbols to help us focus our faith and devotion. The rituals of worship are also symbolic. We have to clearly understand that the key to receiving divine grace lies in Shraddha and Vishwasa. Yabhyam vina napashyanti, without which no one, not even a Siddha, can have a vision of the indwelling divinity. So, to receive the divine grace, to receive the kripa of the Lord, Shraddha and Vishwasa are most essential. So without the grace of God, how can we have any progress in spirituality? Once upon a time, when Rishi Parshuram learned the world was suffering from anarchy, corruption, injustice, exploitation, and immorality in every walk of life, Parshuram became very impatient. He could not sit like a silent observer. In reflective silence, he prayed for guidance and light to be able to find an effective remedy. So he went to Uttarkashi, a famous place in Himalayas, for engaging himself in rigorous austerity, tapas. And he was meditating on Lord Shiva, invoking his grace to help him to do service to the humanity, to punish these wicked people who are causing chaos in the human society. And Lord Shiva was pleased by his tapas and blessed him with angelic axe, Parshu, and bid him to use it for the eradication and uprooting of all the evils and vices that had spread in the society of that time. Indeed, Parshuram did liberate the earth from all the evil forces and immoral trends. Nothing could stand before the infinite might of Shiva's weapon. The scriptures are full of such descriptions, evincing the ultimate eternal power of Lord Shiva. But what has happened today? We also worship and offer our devotion to Lord Shiva. Still we remain afflicted by so many difficulties and sufferings. Why is not the divine grace of Shiva bestowed upon us? Why and how we have lost the righteous path and surrendered our lives despite being His devotees? When will God lift us? Anyway, the answer to all these questions is cultivate Shraddha. Just concentrate on doing, worshipping, serving God sincerely, honestly. God will give result. You don't have to ask God for it. God is knower of everything. He sees your heart. If your heart is pure, if it is full to the brim with Shraddha, surely, without being asked, God will render all help that you require. So that's the way it is. Our Shraddha is very necessary in our spiritual path. So, the value, the cultivation of Shraddha should be leading us to improve our quality of spiritual practice. Quality. No doubt we are doing meditation, no doubt we are doing some sort of discipline. But if Shraddha is there, we become more and more serious and earnest about practicing discipline with great zeal. Great zeal. So, quality of bhakti is really important. That we get through cultivation of Shraddha. The path of the devotion is shown to be the most successful in leading to salvation, and scriptures and sacred texts reinforce the indispensable effect of God's grace in installing pure and unshakable Shraddha in Him. It's not easy for human beings to understand the extent of God's grace as long as they are under the dragnet of this sense of I and mine. This sense of ego confirms the false belief in individuals that they function on their own right alone, masking the truth of God's presence that animates and sustains the entire universe. The quality of bhakti is experienced in the simplest of manner by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, even as he reveals his penchant for those who remain devoted to him. So, the principle of surrender is the crux of this relationship between the Lord and his devotees. The Lord assures that to those who worship him, meditate on him alone, and who constantly are steeped in his thoughts, he brings attainment of what they do not have and preservation of what they have attained. Yogakshema. The Lord promises total protection of his devotees at all times and at all costs. He makes it clear that the sincerity in acts of worship, rather than the acts themselves, are what matters. Even a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or a drop of water is acceptable to God when offered with true Shraddha. Patram pushpam phalam toyo bhaktya me prayachati. Their bhaktya means Shraddha. Those who offer them with great Shraddha, I accept that. Now, is there any example of such Shraddha being exhibited? Yes, there is. In Bhagavad, the story of Kuchela Sudama, most fantastic story. His devotion, his Shraddha towards Krishna was exemplary. He never desired anything. He wanted only Krishna. His mind was totally absorbed and full of Krishna only. And he believed it more than 100%. But his family position was, they were utterly poor. Even very difficult to get master of food. And he had plenty of children. So wife would always say, what? We are suffering so much. You are having great Shraddha in Krishna. Will you not please meet him and see what can he do for us, what way he can help us? He is the king now, Dwarkadish. And you claim he is your best friend. And your Shraddha towards Krishna is total. Why don't you go? She prompts him. She prompts him not because she is having Shraddha with Krishna. She prompts him just to overcome her poverty. Her mind was still on the material plane. No comparison with Kuchala's mind. So, but Kuchala or Sudama, he felt tremendous, indescribable joy in his heart. Because his wife was giving him an opportunity to go and see his most beloved Lord Krishna, whom he had not seen for many years. After his education period was over, Krishna went to Dwarka and he came back to his home. He felt so much joy. And with great devotion, with tears in his eyes, full of love, Ramakrishna, filled with that love, he went to see Krishna. And what is the offering he is taken? Some beaten rice or flattened rice, choda. The wife gave something tied in his corner of his cloth that he took. So, but he was very shy. Can I offer this choda to Lord Krishna, King of Kings? But what grace Krishna showed. He was moved by Kuchala's devotion. He himself put his hand to his tongue. What? Why you are hiding it? He untied it and took the choda and said it's most delicious. And not only that, he tells his wife Rukmini, give him oil bath. Make him comfortable. So all this tremendous expression of love, in that atmosphere, he forgot to ask Krishna to get rid of his poverty in his home. So after everything is done, he is going back. Halfway has already gone. Then he suddenly knew, what? My wife told me to ask Krishna about moving poverty. I didn't ask at all, I forgot. Then he surrendered. Oh Lord, it's your will. Whatever you will, it will happen. But he had that such tremendous Shraddha in the name of Krishna. Before he reached the home had become palace. Everything was so nice and they could not believe their eyes, wife and their children. They could not believe. All the people who are neighborhood, who are ridiculing them, who are showing scant respect for them, they become surprised and they began to touch their feet. That is the value of Shraddha. Because of Kuchala's tremendous Shraddha in Krishna, that resulted in receiving tremendous grace. Even when that grace came in the form of that wealth and comforts, Sudama says, "Oh Lord, why did you give me all this? I want you. Because of you I got this, so I want you only." So Krishna was so pleased with his devotion. All this was possible because his Shraddha was great, tremendously great, supremely great, incomparable. And there is another example how Shraddha brought the Lord of the universe to his home. He doesn't have to go to the abode of Vaikuntha. The Vaikuntha himself came to his home. And that is Vidura, character of Vidura in Mahabharata. A person of true devotion. He is a person who had no ego. Egoless person. Very humble and supremely devoted to Lord Krishna. Because of his tremendous devotion, of his tremendous Shraddha, Lord Krishna, without even Vidura asking for it, without even getting invitation from Vidura, Lord Krishna came to his home. Even though he was invited by Duryodhana, he made elaborate arrangements to receive Krishna to his palace. And kitchen was lot of dishes prepared for him. Great fanfare. Everything was done. But Krishna quietly, without making any noise, without making any fuss, simply he went to Vidura and took shelter in his home and enjoyed greatly, immensely the food offered by Vidura. And Vidura was in ecstasy. He was fulfilled. He was total in his happiness. He was total. And there is nothing more to be aspired for. He has got the maximum and eternal peace and eternal ananda, what we call in Sanskrit ananda, bliss, is recorded. And he could get the divine grace of Lord Krishna because of his true Shraddha in him. So, let us try to cultivate Shraddha. Shraddha. Do you have that Shraddha? You have to ask this question. If you don't have, don't weep, but try to cultivate. So that's the beauty of the Shraddha. But as Sri Ramakrishna used to say, it is true, a person should be free from ahankar. That is, the I is very prominent. I am doing this, I am doing that, I am doing this. I. Sri Ramakrishna tells, as long as I consciousness exists, what one should do, the easiest way is, one should have the attitude of a devotee. One should not say, I am God. A man aware of his body should feel that he is not Krishna himself, but his devotee. But if God draws the devotee to himself, then it is different. It is like the master saying to his beloved servant, come, take your seat near me. You are the same as I. Wonderful. Then Sri Ram used the example. The waves are part of the Ganges, but Ganges is not part of the waves. That's the important statement. Shiva experiences two states of mind. When he is completely absorbed in his own self, he feels I am he, Soham. In that union, neither body nor mind functions. But when he is conscious of his separate ego, he dances, exclaiming, Rama, Rama, Rama. Ram would come inside his room. Before Swami Vivekananda, before Narendranath, his previous name is Narendranath, before Narendranath could come and touch his feet, Sri Ram would raise himself up and receive him at the door. Come, 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 my boy, come. Not only that, there are so many people sitting, devotees and so many people. Immediately would go to the cooler and take some sweets. First thing he would do, bring some sweets and push into his mouth, like the mother feeding his baby, then he would feel happy. That was his relationship. That was the relationship of Sri Ramakrishna with Narendranath. Narendranath is not ordinary. His love towards Sri Ramakrishna was supreme. He had tremendous shraddha in Sri Ramakrishna's words, in Sri Ramakrishna's personality. When Sri Ramakrishna said, you can see God, you can talk to him as I am talking to you, that day itself the shraddha was invoked in Vivekananda's heart. From that time onwards, his shraddha began growing and growing like a banyan tree. And now his heart is full of shraddha only, like nothing else but shraddha. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to test it. He wanted to test and show to us, we foolish people, to show us how a person with shraddha behave. To show us, he demonstrated this play. Of course, he played in a very natural way. He did not wear occult power to do that play. In a very humanistic way, he did. One day, as usual, Vivekananda came and entered his room. Sri Ramakrishna never looked at him. When he sidetracked, that is a great insult to a person who has got ego. Oh, he is not showing his face to me. He would have gone out. Never to come again. But Vivekananda is not at that time. He simply quietly came and sat there. For 1 or 2 hours, Swami Sri Ramakrishna used to talk. For the whole 2 hours period time, Swami Vivekananda was sitting quietly there. And everything, the meeting was over, people dispersed, and Swami Vivekananda left, stood up, wanted to go out. Sri Ramakrishna never looked at him. As if He has not come. And he walked out. Next day also Vivekananda came. Next day also same treatment. Neglect. Tiraskar. Tiraskar. He was not humiliated. Third day he came. Fourth day he came. And Sri could not control himself. Enough of it, enough. Then on the fourth time when he came, Sri went and hugged him vehemently. For 5 minutes she did not let him go. In that bliss, he gave him supreme Ananda. The embrace which Sri Ramchandra gave to Hanuman, same way Sri Ramchandra gave this to Vivekananda, hugging him. How could Vivekananda get this grace, this divine grace? Because of Shraddha. And then Sri Ramchandra puts in a question. My dear Narayan, one thing I am totally surprised. You have been coming here many times. I just neglected you. I never saw you and never looked at you. The reason I used to offer sweets, etc. I never looked at you and I did not consider you at all. In spite of it, you are coming. How come? Then Narendra replied, very simple. Master, I come because I love you. That's the climax. Do you love God like that? If you love, you will get grace. That's the way it is. So, Shraddha gives rise to Ananda. Shraddhavan labhate jnana. There is another kind of love known as Ujjita Bhakti, an ecstatic love of God that overflows as it were. When it is awakened, like the devotee laughs and weeps and dances and sings. Ujjita Bhakti. Do you have an example? Yes. Who is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His mind was totally absorbed in Krishna, dancing and weeping and singing. He doesn't know where he is going. He just merged into ocean. He's got Jala Samadhi. Do you know that fact? Jala Samadhi. Yes. Then Sri Ramchandra said to Lakshman, brother, if anywhere you see the manifestation of Ujjita Bhakti, know for certain that I am there. And Giris was a great devotee of Sri Ramchandra. Oh, his devotion is unparalleled. He said, everything is possible through your grace, O Master. Look at me. What was I before? And see now what I am. And he's telling so vehemently. Sri Ramchandra said, you had latent tendencies, so they are manifesting themselves now. Nothing happens except at the proper time. Take the case of a patient. Nature has almost cured him when the physician prescribes a herb and asks him to drink its juice. After taking the medicine, he is completely cured. Now, is the patient cured by the medicine or does he get well by himself? Who can tell? Lakshmana said to Lava and Kush, you are mere children. You don't know Rama's power. At the touch of his feet, Ahalya, who had been turned into a stone, got back her human form. Lava and Kusha said, revered sir, we know that we have heard the story. The stone became Ahalya because of the power of holy man's words. The sage Gautama said to her, in the Treta Yuga, Rama will pass this hermitage. You will become a human being again at the touch of his feet. Now, who can tell whether the miracle happened in order that the sage's words should be fulfilled or on account of Rama's holiness? Everything happens by the will of God. If your spiritual consciousness has been awakened at this place, referring Sri Ram to himself, know that I am only an instrument. Uncle Moon is everybody's uncle. All happiness, all happens by the will of God. So, let us try to cultivate this tremendous quality of Shraddha, which you should remember very, very, very thoroughly. Shraddha from beginning to end. Not only beginning, then afterwards lesson again. No. Once the Shraddha starts, never stop it. It should be continuous, non-stop. In order to do that, you must have tremendous determination, willpower, kriya shakti, ichha shakti. All these things must be empowered. So, you must be taskmaster to yourself. Don't expect somebody else to come and guide you all the time. You be yourself guide. God's teachings are open to everyone. You have to practice it. Practice. That's why Sri Ram used to say, practice, practice, practice. Thank you very much. Now I invite your questions, August audience, who are full of Shraddha, hearing this talk.
Abhaya, ahimsa and asanga. Then the fourth point I missed. Anand.
Bliss.
Bliss.
Good. He has recorded nicely.
Thank.
So, divine treasure, we should not be foolish to ignore them.
Right.
On the other hand, we should study them in depth and follow it in practice.
Right.
That's enough for them.
So that means you can definitely question.
Question.
Okay.
Question what?
Question the teaching.
Example.
Okay, Swamiji, he questioned a lot with Sri Ramakrishna. Swamiji,
He did not question a lot.
didn't he say for each and everything, I mean, he was asking,
His attitude was reasoning attitude.
reason.
He would not believe unless it is proved.
Right,
That was his way of thinking.
right.
So Sri Ramana corrected him. But in the beginning, when he came to Sri Ramana, he did not argue much. He simply asked, have you seen God? Yes, I have seen God.
I thought.
And then he said, you can also see God. Finished. Afterwards, when they are entering into kind of discussion among different types of ideas, then he would reason out. Then he would say, your path is path of knowledge. Sri Ramakrishna would admire his reasoning faculty. Like that. It's not that Sri Ramakrishna, it's not that Vivekananda was doubting Sri Ramakrishna. but he wanted to show to the world the experience of Sri Ramakrishna. You see, when Narendra at the beginning, he could not understand Vivekananda's Sri Ramakrishna's glory. He knew he had seen Divine Mother. That fact he admitted. And he also knew that Sri Ramakrishna told him, you can also see, those points are correct. But he could not understand when Sri Ramakrishna said everything is Brahman. That he began to reason, what you are telling Sri Ramakrishna? This cup is Brahman, this mat is Brahman, this is Brahman, that is Brahman. So he was in a kind of, in a ridiculing way, probably in a scant language, he uttered these words. Not out of disrespect, out of his own mental state, those words came out. And Sri Ramakrishna, in order to make him, in order to give him the experience immediately, he touched him. That means he doesn't have to say again, hey, this is Brahman, that is Brahman. He himself explained that Brahman. So he touched him. Everything was Brahman. He could not walk. He dashed against the pole. That is Brahman. And people are afraid he may met with accident. Who knows? And that state remained for a long time. Oh God, what experience it is. So, because of his Shraddha in knowing the truth, that's the point we remember. Because of his tremendous Shraddha in knowing the truth, he was able to receive the grace of Sri Ramakrishna. The blessing of the touch. With touch he gave him the vision of Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. Everything indeed is Brahman. Finished. That matter was over. So, all through Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda was full of Shraddha. You must read his talk, my master, there's a talk. Small book is there. My master. Tremendous devotion to Sri Ramakrishna. That's what I'm telling you. Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Sharda Mata, na bhuto, na bhavishyati.
What does it mean, Swami?
Can anybody explain?
Yeah.
Neither in past
Or in future. Uniqueness. Because tomorrow I'm speaking about uniqueness of Sri Sharda Devi. She is extraordinary, extraordinary. Extraordinarily extraordinary. Mother. Of great. I am reading one is right now. It has been done in Kannada. Sharda Devi Jeevan Ganga. Written by Swami Pushapma. Yesterday I was telling. Such a beautiful book. He did the class on Sharda Devi for 2 years. He did. About weekly once. Class. Holy Mother, Sharda Devi, Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, being followers of them, you should be beaming with joy. Nobody should dare to touch your Shraddha. Where is your Shraddha? Be more aggressive in manifesting the quality of Shraddha. No question of any kind of depression or desperation. No. Be very happy. Be very, very happy to do Sri Ramakrishna's work. To spread Sri Ramakrishna's message. To work for Sri Ramakrishna. To buy the land. I'm testing your Shraddha now. You're questioning money. Can you not sacrifice all of it together for paltry amount? Great ashram will be coming here. To be afraid to develop at Ramakrishna mission. For a Swami to stay here, should not have proper land and environment, surroundings. We are not asking to give up your family and come here like sannyasi. Yes, part of it try to sacrifice. I was telling them, every year the people who make 4 or 5 trips to India cut 2 trips and give that amount to buy the land. Shivananji called me the other day, last year. Shivananda, you are going to Houston. Please inspire them to buy the land. He is ordering me. Actually, he is a most beloved Swami. He is very senior to me. He is 85 years old, Swami. You see his dynamism. Tremendously dynamic. Tremendously dynamic. At the age of 85, he is building beautiful center in Australia. To understand him, you must go to Lucknow to see the center. Fantastic center he has made. Lucknow. Before coming to Sydney, he was in Lucknow. Beautiful temple of Sri Ramakrishna he has done. Beautiful. He has come to, he is coming again?
Yes, he's been coming October.
October.
He's coming in October, yes.
He is coming there in September. So when he comes in October, give him the good news that you have purchased the land. Or you are paying the land. He should be overwhelmed.
What's that?
He should be overwhelmed with
No, this is the extra land that is there.
extra land,
The
1 acre land,
The 1 acre land.
which makes it rectangle. Rectangle is a very good sign. According to Tantra Shastra. Chi.
Triangle is first.
Your devotion is tested now. What kind of, is it lukewarm devotion or minus lukewarm or plus lukewarm? Simply giving some dakshina is like the sacrifice. Shraddha. That's why I chose this subject, Shraddha, for you, especially. You need Shraddha. Shraddha is in baby form. Let it grow.
How do you develop it now? How do you develop it?
Just now I told you all those things.
How do you intensify?
You can ask that at the end of the retreat when
As I ended it, I'll ask him to go through the tape recorder.
Swamiji, what is the chip?
A constant company of the association. Whole satsang. Whole satsang. And devotional practices. And in the beginning itself I told you key points. Sincerity and earnestness. These are the 2 key points for developing Shraddha. Both are important. Sincerity and earnestness. And Shivan should be surprised. What? That is Sri Ramakrishna Leela. Sri Ramakrishna Leela. Don't be afraid to buy that small piece of land. All of you should join together and be happy to do that. You will get 1,000-fold more benefit from God. That benefit comes through in the form of grace. Grace. The grace is shown up in the form of peace. Peace and peace. Peace. Nothing like peace. I would say even this is secondary to peace. What tremendous state of peace it is. Paramashanti. So, this chapter Shraddha is specially chosen for you. All of you are reading Gospel so many times, but only if you have really noted the importance of Shraddha. Swami Yatishwarji, every day, without fail, he would read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Once it so happened, Swamiji was in Bangalore, head of the Bangalore ashram. Once it so happened I had to go to Swamiji's room at 11 o'clock night to give some message, something. I was surprised to see Swami was reading Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Before going to bed, before sleeping, he would Sri Ramakrishna, read Sri Ramakrishna. That's one thing I saw. Another thing is, I would go different times for different purposes. I would go. Of course, before ashram would go. At times, sometimes I would go at 2 o'clock. What Swami would be doing? Is he sleeping? No. Reading the book. Always cheerful. Tremendously cheerful. So these are the qualities which we should cherish. That's the meaning of living with holy people. Living with holy people. So it's like that. It is like that. Person, if you are earnest, if you have got innate tendency, that will give you all opportunity to develop. Even the slightest thing will provoke you. Tuck, the it comes.
Papa.
It's true. My first contact with Yatishwarji made me join the Ramakrishna Mission.
Yes.
Just to give the example of touch. One look, not even touch. One look from him, one touch from me. I touched his feet. One touch from me, one look from him transformed my life. So you can imagine. So that depends upon your innate nature. You see, keep your mind clean. Keep your mind clean. Think of the present. Never think of the past. Don't think of the future. Think of the present. Think of today. Think when you rise up. From today, how we should be. True devotee of the Lord. With that attitude, go and work. Any activity you do will become karma yoga if you have right attitude. If you think of God and do it, it has got value. It has got tremendous spiritual value. Without that, it has no value. That's the point. Any more questions?
You mentioned the word Triputalaya. What is that song?
What is it?
Yeah.
Trikuta.
Triputalaya.
You have noted down.
Huh?
You have noted down. What is it? Tell me.
No, I didn't.
Experience,
Huh?
Anubhav.